Okay guys, I'm back again and um, okay, let's start now with the main component. I mean continue with this. We already have the call service here and let's come back here. So remember that we finished before the command latest that is going to make the calls. So let's use that inside our main component.ts. Man, my fucking throat. So I just need to finish this. Come on. Let's say public get data. This is the function that we're going to call that is going to make the calls. Okay. Right now, of course, we don't have that functionality. Okay, we can say that, but it's going to complain because we don't have this get data that we are building now. Oh, my fucking throat, damn. So we're going to say, let's actually say source 1 and source 2. Sorry, this is not. I wasn't in my. I was checking the code and being like, what am I doing? So we need the form values. Sorry about that. Just that I got so caught up into my. The thing is that we have this cold front and we have another tropical storm, okay, fucking near the peninsula, and it's fucking again with my health. So I have a asthma. In case you are wondering why I'm, so isn't that I'm getting sick every time? Well, I got sick, but sometimes it's if that is something related with my how can I say this in English, with my breathing system, it gets worse. Okay, it you know how asthma is, so that's why sometimes when I get sick it gets a little complicated, and I tend to feel really bad, and it takes a long time for my system to go back, to be its regular way. But when it happens like this, when we have kind of this different weather going on, my system doesn't know what to do. Okay, so right now I have this sweater, and although I feel hot inside, I cannot take it off because it's going to fuck with my temperature. Okay, and it's going to make me sneeze and cough, even though I'm kind of still sick. But it's going to make it worse. So that's why sometimes you will hear me with a running nose or a little, kind of talking funny. But just for you to to get that why I'm kind of sometimes I can make a video really fast, and sometimes I have to take some pauses because I'm kind of losing air. Okay, it's kind of hard to breathe sometimes. So what I'm doing here is just creating this get data. This get data that is going to be the function that is this get data. Okay, and So we're going to check the length. That's why we're only going to allow 2 sources. You can allow more. Okay. So remember that if you're going to allow more, you better come to the call service and add more options for that to be able to handle those. Okay. So don't forget about that. So let's say if sources is more than 2, sources is going to be an array of the form data. I guess I will show you that. Let's, in case you haven't worked, because I don't see really a lot of tutorials using multiple values. I don't know. I think some, I don't know. This is my personal thinking. Let's say you must select only 2. Well, let's say only 2 sources. This is kind of my personal point of view. Okay, POV. So I see some great tutorials, okay, or some tutorials that could be great, but a ton of YouTubers, well, mostly not a ton, but some YouTubers, some big YouTubers in this field are kind of not delivering the content that it should be to make those videos, you know, more to fit more into what we see. And I'm talking about some big YouTubers, okay, that you might see. And I often go and see the videos. I'm sorry if you don't mind this, but it's just why I'm kind of making a point here. So what I'm trying to say is that I feel that sometimes, and some big YouTubers are kind of dumbing down the courses. Okay, some sell their courses on Udemy and Skillshare and things like that, but I think that's okay. Okay, I might even do that. Okay, or I might even just try to earn something with YouTube. But the thing is that I don't see them working with some other things that are a kind of outside. They always say something like, "This is outside of the scope of the video." I heard something before, okay, with a great channel that has pretty low views actually, to be what it is. That when someone says it's not in the scope of this video, it's because they don't know what the fuck is going on. Okay, and I say the truth in case I find myself in that situation. I don't know how this works, or I don't know what this thing is doing. Okay, okay. So I actually tell the truth if I'm caught in kind of that, that way. So I will try to always keep everything in the scope, even if it's something like, to show you how you could do something, even if I don't complete that code. But what I mean is that nothing is out of the scope of what I'm doing. Okay, I might miss something, I might forget to do something, but nothing is really outside of the scope if you know what the fuck you are doing. Okay, so I'm not going to try to dumb down my content. Okay, so this one is called service because I'm fucking stupid. I miss an S there. So because I'm not going to I'm trying to give the code that you are going to fucking use while you are working. Okay, because I work my ass off doing research. Okay, while doing work for some clients, because let's be honest, I wasn't ready for that kind of project, or something, some little thing was missing. Okay, and I needed to work to fulfill that because I'm a full stack developer. I'm self-taught, but what I mean is that I want to show the code that you are going to fucking use. I'm not going to dump down my content, because if you want to build something really, 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 really big, you are going to build it from scratch by yourself. Okay, so let's just say that. If you want to change the world, okay, you need to do it by yourself. Okay, so let's continue with this after that fucking rant. Okay, so I just wanted to say that because, as I said, I don't see many people using multiple. I don't know why. Maybe because they don't want to stress out their viewers with that. But if you're stressed out by something like that, then what are you doing? It started to rain. Fuck that shit. So this call service that get data, we need to get the data. Okay, remember that we're passing the sources, and now from data, it's starting to rain. As I said, we have a tropical storm again. Okay, so remember that this is going to be an array, and that array is going to have two values because we're only going to accept those two values. Okay, we're going to check if the length is more than 2, and if it's not, then we're going to call this with the two values we have. Then we're going to subscribe. Also, by what I said before, is that I'm not going to make tutorial for beginners. I'm going to show beginners what they need to do. Okay, the work that they need to do in order to become better developers, as I am doing right now. Okay, so don't be afraid. I will try to explain everything as I go, so don't be afraid to try my, to follow along with this. So we're going to subscribe to that, and we're going to console the response so you can see what we are getting. So array, let's call this underscore array is just a variable. Okay, so this one is going to have this, it's going to be this array, empty array, and so the response, we're going to loop through that response because remember that we are going to have a tuple response. So we are going to have two values inside this kind of observable, okay, or two observables inside this kind of array. That should be okay. So for each one of those inside the response, we are going to check because why. Okay, I should ask why before I say because. Why? Because remember that we are going to catch the error here. In case we catch the error, we don't have the property that we need in order to display the articles. I'm just trying to talk like, I don't know, object is not equals. So as I said, if you want this, okay, let's say like that. If you want this behavior, let me know and I will show you how to add this with the Cascadia font. Okay, because it kind of looks good, no? It gives those little two things that I mean, that make the code more bearable. You can see what is going on, and yeah, it looks cute. So let's say object. So remember, again, we have this combinelatest that is going to return a double value with option 1 and option 2. If we have an error, okay, meaning that the main error is that we are not going to make a call on something, okay, or the call is going to be I think 404 or no 400 because it's going to be about request. Okay, that's going to be the main error here. So that error isn't going to retrieve what we want in order to display the articles. That is going to be an articles property inside the HTTP request. So we need to check for that. If this has own property articles, so let me see. Okay, this is an if. Then we are going to push into the array, if I can type that correctly. Another thing, if you're interested in React, Okay, I don't know what the fuck you're doing here, but if you're interested in React, I'm going to start building React tutorials with RxJs. So in case you are kind of starting to get used to this, I'm pointing the fucking screen as if you could see me. I have a camera, but I haven't active now. So if you want to see, or if you ever wanted like starting with React, I'm going to start building with RxJS. So it's going to be more bearable for the people that are using Angular to move for something like React in case you have another project that uses React, so you are not scared of working with that. So remember that we're checking for the articles. If we have the articles, then we're going to push this object articles, that this object is going to be either the sources 0 or the sources 1, okay, that are the HTTP requests. So now we have this. So as I've been, or as I did my research, it seems to be better to have this in kind of these sets, okay? So to have them to be able to work in a separate way inside their own arrays. So this second set is equal to array 0 and okay, I just missed there a little indentation. So no, okay, it's array 1. So what is going on here? Let's recap a little bit. Okay, so we're going to get the data from the form. Okay, we're going to check if that length is above 2. If this is above 2, we're not going to allow. We don't allow shit in our code, so we are not going to allow that. Okay, so else, if that is less to 2, meaning that we have those two sources, we're going to call or get data using the form sources, okay, from data sources, that is this, okay, so it's going to be returned with that naming, okay, sources inside an array. So the sources is going to have 0 and 1 for those two sources we allow. Now we subscribe to that, and inside the response, inside the subscription, we're going to handle a new array. That new array is going to check for each one, or well, it's not going to check anything, sorry. We're going to check for each tuple inside, each value inside the response that we're going to get. So we're going to get something like this, response 1 and response 2, okay? So this, we're going to check for each response, okay? We're going to check for that, and we're going to check if the articles property is inside them. Okay, if that's inside them, then we're going to push that. If not, it's going to just return the observable of null. Sorry. So let's actually finish this because I've been talking too much and my throat is fucking hurting me. So we already have this, okay, inside of my component. So let's actually go, and I'm going to copy all this. I know you don't like me to do that, or some people don't like me to do that, but okay, we are on line 19, okay, so we're going to paste that on line 19. The deep news, so we're going to check if the first set and first set length is above 0, meaning we have something, which if not, we show the message that is not search made with an icon. I'm going to pass that in a bit. So this should respond with the item. We're going to check for each item inside the first set, meaning each individual news or article. We're going to call that item, and we're going to check for the URL to image, that is actually the image, the title and the description. We're going to allow this to go to the URL, so we're going to add a link with a target underscore blank, so it opens on another tab, and we're going to use the same, or do the same with the other one. Okay, so let's see if this works. If not, I'm screwed. Okay, blah, 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 it's not okay. So let's submit. Okay, we have that. We have the first one that is only responding with that, and the other one is, it says no search made. So let's add the other one, response status for request URL use API. Okay, let me just. Okay, the other one is for request sources. Okay, I'm missing a source. Sorry about that. Okay, sources. Okay, you can see that it's working fine. Okay, now we have thunders. So I should finish this one fast because my dog is going to start doing some crazy shit. So now you can see we can select one. It's going to prompt us with the get bar request 400 error. Okay, so we can see here no search is made. So let me just go back and copy my styles. Okay, if you're interested in styles, sorry, I need to code this as soon as I can because I cannot speak anymore. My throat is hurting me, and because we have a thunderstorm now on top of everything. So submit, you can see better how this thing is reacting, and you can see that the error is not breaking this because we're catching the error and returning the observable, the off null, that is observable, that is continuing delivering values, as I said before, like showing air into something. You can fill the air, but you cannot do anything else about that. Okay, and submit. So okay, this is a little something that happens, that sometimes they don't provide all the images and all that. So you can see the values null here. Okay, so if I unclick that, that is going to pass here and it's going to say that no search made. I think I have time for that. So let me pass. This one is inside. Let me see. Sources, assets. Nope. Okay, so this is the code for that. And I'm going to pass that because I want to show you with the images. So this is the Angular that I had built before. Assets. Copy these two. Paste them. Refresh this. Also, the fonts are not working because I didn't import those. Can you tell me why it's not? Okay, maybe I need to close this and start the server again for that to work. I think I removed the other image, right? This one? No. This one. My component, no, is inside F. Okay. Let's remove this. And let's continue with this. Okay, it's running now. Compiled successfully. You can see the image, and we should be able to see the other one. Yep. Okay. So now you can play with that. The font, let me go to change the font so you can have that too. I don't know why it should matter, but I'm going to copy the font. This one is from Google Fonts, so it's Lato, and you can see that. Okay, so it's working, and in case I select more, it's going to run the code that checks if the length of the sources is more than 2. Okay, so we have that, and sorry, I have to cut. The application is done. Okay, I cannot speak anymore. My throat is hurting, so I will record the next one tomorrow. So you should have this. Today is Monday. Okay, so as I promised, on the 29th. So comment if you need something else, and if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. I need to see if this thing is going to grow, and I want to share a lot of things with you. Okay, and above all, I want to share good things, okay, that are going to allow you to become a better developer, even if you don't want to be or if you don't want to work as a freelancer or anything like that. If you are learning just for fun, this is going to allow you to create better things that most people do. Okay, so yeah, support the channel and see you in the next one.